God, I love that intro. That intro's so dope. Hey, you are now rocking with the best. You're now listening to 1013 Row FM and another live broadcast episode of A Different Day with Jah and
Hey, afternoon. It's Jah and Neci in the building.
Yeah. So we got a very lit show for you. It's 2 weeks in the making, so don't mind us if some of the news is a little behind because we planned for last week. And when I said plan, there was research planning. I pulled a bunch of stuff and everything was up to date. However, unfortunately, we could not get on to the radio streaming app, but we're here now. And a little bit later in the broadcast, we have Freeston Athill. I don't know if he still is, but he was a part of the With the Grain podcast at one point. He's a homegrown Virgin Islander, and he is a Trump supporter. So we're trying to see if maybe we could relate to him a little bit. I already had a conversation with Neci backstage before we came on about, taking a drink, breathe. We're going to make it through this interview. There will be no, bashing or anything. We're trying to see the different perspectives. And please, please, please keep things legit, keep things square, respectful in the comments as we try to do every show. How are you doing? It's been quite a few 2 weeks.
Listen to me. This January has definitely been Decembering, okay? Because I don't know what's going on. I feel like it's really Groundhog Day on repeats times 2. But it's February now. It's February 2nd to be exact. And we're on a different journey this February, aren't we? We have a goal this February. We're doing more positive, healthy things. That's our goal for February. So for those of you get back there, you want to join us. Jah and I have made a commitment to be a little bit more healthy, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, physically, as well as doing more positive things. So if you're up for it, there's no set goal in mind. It's just really self-improvement. So for those who want to join us, we're more than happy to do that. Send us your ideas, your suggestions, what you want to do, what you're planning to do, how you want to contribute. And we're looking for the positivity because January was January in. So we need some uplift. It's Black History Month.
Correct. Happy Black
So the Black people, I'm going to be out. We outside, we here. So join us. Let me be black. Okay? So exactly. Definitely.
And like Neci said, there's no necessarily a goal. We just want to make healthy lifestyle choices. So mind you, this is not a diet because diets are temporary. A lifestyle change is for life. So it doesn't have to be a goal. It could just be something that you try to change for good. So if you're going to join us, please do join us, but do not make it anything, drastic. Don't just say you're going to switch tomorrow to being a vegan, or you're going to eat all raw fruits from now on. That's drastic. Just a few, 1 or 2 changes or something like that, something to change yourself for the better. And it may not be something dieting or weight related. It could just be that you want to you want to take more time for self-care. You want to take care of yourself, your kids, or do something once a week to just get your mind right because you've been stressed out.
Absolutely.
I'm dreading going into the Trump talk because that will take away from everything healthy we just said. What is the one thing that you decided to do?
So one of the things I'm going to do is making more of an effort to do more check-ins. I'm usually if you check on me, I'll check back on you kind of thing. But life is changing. There's a lot of things happening to a lot of people. Sometimes you don't know what people are struggling with or not. So I'm making a commitment to do more check-ins. And one of the things is definitely getting back on my walking journey. I kind of build up the tolerance to get to a couple miles, and now I got to start back over. So But it's important, we're getting a little, Jah, we're getting a little older,
Yeah.
the fat, that fat. Let me tell you something about it. For those of you who have not hit the 40 mark yet, there is a non-invisible checklist that pops up only when you cross over.
The check engine light,
Oh,
definitely.
only when you cross over does it come on.
And
Okay?
it's
And then you carry your car in for solves and they tell you need 10 other things done. That's what happened in these checkups. Okay? You gotta do so much other things because you make 40.
true.
And so that experience is definitely eye-opening and learning and transitioning into the things that we need to do. Now that they want to consider it later in life, I still fairly young. But I make the chart.
All right.
So definitely.
We'll be right back with more news, trending topics, local and national news, and our guest, Freeston Athill, right after these messages. So yeah. Yeah. You were saying something that I cut you off, my bad.
No, I was just gonna say, as I saying, these check-ins is you gotta do what you gotta do. So
The necessary. Okay. True, true. For me, I want to change. I just want to eat healthier overall, make healthier eating choices because that's a big thing. And many people may not know this, but I'm gonna be transparent here. I do have high
only
blood.
when you cross over.
What?
Sorry, I had feedback in my phone. I'm sorry, I had feedback.
That's all good. I do have high blood pressure, and it runs in the family.
Mm.
So there's nothing I truly can do to just stop it, but I can help maintain it. So I'm working to make better lifestyle choices. Nisi, no, I take one thing is very important, and I think people underestimate it, is sleep. She teases me all the time because I go and sleep by 10:30. Like I don't want to be out. Like don't invite me if the jam start at past 6. Like if you want to go out at 9, nah. We starting at 9, nah. I'll be in the bed. So that's one thing. Wow.
No, you're gonna learn to take day naps when we're going out at night because it's not like we're going out every night or every weekend. So don't make it sound like to the people that are like checking you out every weekend someplace. Okay? But there are things that happen at night. So take your day nap, wake up about 7, 8 o'clock, and then we could go. I promise you'll be home before 3.
Anyway, 3 a.m. You see what I'm
I
talking
said
about?
before.
All right. So a short story time, right? So
Mm.
don't be taking me out. But when I go home, right? I've told her in the past when I go home is to really relax. It really is. So I've stayed with her and I told her I don't want to do anything. And she'll ask me literally like every day, what you want to do? Nothing. So one day she see me just kicking it on the porch, right? And I'm just eating my oatmeal, I cooling, enjoying the breeze. Oh, when you said you don't want to do nothing, you meant nothing. Yes. Like this is a vacation for me. I can't be with them people who go on vacation and they get a full itinerary. That is not no vacation because after you feel like you need a vacation from the vacation, I don't like that. I want rest.
So it's not okay. So in my defense, it's not that I have a problem with you doing nothing. I'm okay with doing nothing. But I just want to ensure sometimes things do change and things pop up. Like somebody might know you're here, something might be happening. You might be like, oh, I just got it. Can we take a pass there? Like things like that really do happen. So my intent is just to do a check-in and be like, hey, you sure we're not doing anything? And I don't force it once you tell me no, you're good. I'm like, okay, you good, then we good. That's just my thing. I want to make sure that, I'm not a good hostess, but I just want to make sure you're okay.
Okay, I appreciate the hospitality, but yeah, when I say I don't want to do anything, I mean literally nothing. I want to do nothing today. I want to chill.
I'm learning that.
But then when you come home, everybody wants to see you, and then like it seems like
Exactly.
events. Like people say St. Croix ain't got nothing. That is a lie because there are days when it's like 4 things back to back. You leave here, you gotta go. I don't know what you're talking about. It gotta be boring. When you say that St. Croix ain't got nothing to do, and if I could find things, I mean, there ain't nothing. You're like, just straight up, you're like, you boring because there'll be
Well,
plenty, even on Sundays.
Well, on your next visit, it ain't gonna be just all like rest and relaxation. So, but there will be rest and relaxation days.
There
Absolutely.
has to be. There better be. But yeah, there needs to be. But hey, while we BSing, tell me why you telling Sheila we go to the Gaza boat trip to the BVI, which I've never been to, or I've been to once, but I was too young to really do anything like that. I'm asking her, let we go. March 15th, we gone. Oh, I this that. She gonna tell me no. No? What you mean? I'm bringing up an event I want to do, and I got to find somebody to do
I
it.
don't. I don't do the boats, cruise ships. I don't do the little boats.
Hmm.
I am just listen. I have tried tremendously numerous times to just do it. I take my Dramamine. I eat what people say. Tanisha, do this. Tanisha, try this. Try eating that. But I have done practically all of it. And by the time that boat out and hitting on waves, Tanisha head over the boat and it's all intestines coming out. Okay. Then I in the corner saying, I'm miserable. When we reach wherever we're going, I don't enjoy it because I can't leave the corner because my stomach is upside down. My esophagus is on fire because I've been throwing up. And I'm thinking, I have to go back. This is we only reach halfway. We still gotta go back. So usually by the time I get back home, I'm just not, I am a horrible person on boats. And I would hate to go anywhere with anyone and ruin their good time. Like that's just especially if I know. If I didn't know is one thing, but I do know. If we just like lingering out in the water, like not far, I could do that. But if we're like going somewhere, I it's just not for me. I'm so sorry. The people that invite me to go Buck Island all the time, and they be like, I can't. I've been Buck Island a few times, and every time I've gone, I've come back miss. I did not enjoy it because I've
This
been
is
sick.
she's saying this to the man that love boats, the ex-sailor. I can't believe it. But Tanisha Doward, you always down to write out. If you're on St. Croix, let us go to this Gaza boat ride, please. Let's go. March 15th, let we go. I'm inviting you live.
And
Come
get
on.
your Wi-Fi. So just so I could phone you. Just I want. Like, I mean,
This
I
is
phone you from
Dramamine.
home.
Dramamine don't work. Ain't that the only
I
job
do
you
take I do take Dramamine. I even have a prescription. That's how bad it is. Okay, and it does not help me. It doesn't help me. It helps, but it doesn't help me 100% to be like I'm 100% okay and I could just enjoy myself. That has never happened. I have to take it to fly and all. I just have to take Dramamine and stuff to fly. That's how my stomach just doesn't like any of that.
That sucks. That sucks. You need to
It
start.
does. It does.
But all right, fine. Look, you're cordially invited by Jah of Same Difference of a Different Day with Jah and Neci. Please, somebody come with me.
Somebody
But
come
it's
in my spot, please. Because
please.
he don't go out. And the fact that he wants to go, I don't want him to not go. So somebody come take my spot.
And this is a
I
perfect
would
excuse
appreciate
for
it.
me not to go. So I love a good excuse.
No.
Man, I want to be there before the 15th. Let me see. What do you mean? What
What's
you
she
mean?
going?
What?
Where wife you going to ain't tell? You said she has to be acting girl, and I love it for she though. I like her independence.
Yeah, she always gone. I'll say that. If I go over on the boat, me coming back anything. I guess
Oh, mm, I hear what
she
she's
got
saying.
she got to
I
her man.
hear her.
I feel that. I hear they get money.
Mm,
I hear that too. I'm gonna get money, so that's okay. You know.
mm.
The economy
What
good
kind
over.
of money?
The economy good, yeah. We're gonna get into some news. But yes, the invitation is out there and I don't go out. So go ahead and DM us. Let us know if you're making that trip, my son, because I need somebody to go. I can't believe she's saying no, but I understand. I expect
It's hurting me to say no to
all
you
right.
because you don't really go anywhere for free when you come
Facts,
here. You'd be
facts.
like, where you gotta go? Be like, relax.
All right, we coming back. Hold on. All right, give me a second here. You're back with 1013 Row FM, the U.S. Virgin Islands #1 station. You know, some people call us the ghetto station. You know what other people call us? #1. So that's all that matters. #1 station in the U.S. Virgin Islands, and you're listening to A Different Day with Jah and
It's Neci.
We were just talking during the break on
Right.
FM Plus, which is basically the Row FM and Same Difference Facebook and YouTube live stream. We were just talking about the event, the Tola boat ride, the Gaza boat ride, March 15th. I gonna be there and I don't be doing nothing. So you better be there too. Mandy Bradshaw says Tola man money long like goat rope. You hear that?
And I've seen goats on ropes.
You see?
I've seen goats on ropes.
So the boat ride is going from St. Croix to the BVI, which I haven't been since I was a child. So I really try and see what's going on. I don't know how long they're going to be docked, but I think this can be a lot of fun and I love boats. Tanisha says, I don't know nothing about no Tola man. She lied. Tanisha, no, that sounds like a plan. So if you're going, let me know because I'm looking for a +1. But
she said could fly over meet her over there. I mean, I game for that.
You could do that. How much is them tickets to fly over?
I don't know. But if they flying over in for the day, how much I saying?
So you're gonna try ain't all the rooms gonna be done by then? Like, you know how many people gonna probably be on this boat?
You know, right here.
You gotta look for it now then. That's good. Go ahead. Start looking for it now. So that's a good compromise. I'm glad Tanisha brought that up. So thank you. That's a great compromise. I don't know what you're going to do along the boat ride, but we're going to meet you.
Well, somebody going to be on the boat with you, but ain't going to be me. That's fine.
Hey, big up Dramamine. I'm not saying I don't work. I wouldn't know because I don't use it.
The Dramamine does work. I will not say it does. It works when I'm flying. When I'm flying, I have a perfect. But for the boat, it does not work when I'm boating.
Jerica says, I want to go. I'm looking at sponsor. You better hope.
But how much is the ticket, sir?
150. 150.
That ain't bad.
Exactly. And you know I cheat. So hopefully Row FM is doing a giveaway. We will see. Exactly. Me and want to be there just a few hours. I understand. I get it. I get it. All right. So we're going to start off the news with some good news because there's not a lot of it and it took me a while just to find this. Malik Smith wins the 600 meter at the Rad Sports College Invitational with a near record time, while Michelle Smith, the Smith's killing it, delivers an outstanding debut at the Ted Nelson Invitational, setting a new meet record in the 4x400 meter relay. So I want to clap it up for them. That's what's up, man. Congratulations to you both.
Congrats. Yes, Michelle has been doing her thing. I love that for her.
So you know about them already then?
I'm aware of Michelle. I'm not aware of Malik, but definitely glad to see that and to see that they're doing big things and continuing to do big things for the VI. I love that.
That's what's up. Lima Roebuck, we need a big house. Hey, Lima down as long as you cooking, so don't volunteer unless you cooking.
Miss Son, if she ain't turning the stove, she better be careful what she asking for.
Exactly, because she knows she's gonna be cooking the whole time. I hope you know. Yeah, hey, big up, Malik. Let's touch on some more news. Everybody's favorite electric company, WAPA, is up next. And unfortunately, with the estimated bills is a thing with WAPA. It's a thing that has not been working. However, they will not stop it and hire more meter readers. So if you listen to the interview with Carl Knight, they're working on it and you can dispute the bill. That is a thing. How effective that dispute process is, I have no idea. But there is a process. And now that's leading people are actually turning into their own meter readers and are documenting daily or monthly their meters to keep track of it, and then they match it up with the bill to see where they went wrong or what's going on with it. So that's something that you may want to consider if you've been having a lot of errors with your bill. Nothing like having actual proof. The Virgin Islands Water and Power Authority is calling for community support to ensure the safety of its employees and contractors following recent threats against workers performing necessary duties. The authority reported that meter reading and meter service employees have been targeted while on the job. In response, WAPA emphasized the essential role these workers play in delivering services and announced measures to protect their well-being. WAPA stated in a press release, "The authority is deeply concerned by the threats staff have faced. Their safety is a top priority, and WAPA asks the community to recognize their vital contributions," the release stated. WAPA provided tips on identifying its field workers and ensuring smooth interactions. Employees, operational official WAPA vehicles with marked license plates. They wear WAPA issued uniforms, announce their presence upon arrival at residences, display official WAPA identification. That is what WAPA is urging their employees to do. Additionally, technicians from subcontractor Davy Resource Group working on a geographic information systems inventory project may be seen using tablets, GPS devices, and other tools. DRG personnel can be identified by WAPA contractor ID badges, safety vests, a letter of authority available upon request. Field activities occur 7 days a week between 7 a.m. and 4 p.m. across the territory. WAPA urged the public to help create a safe environment for workers and prevent harassment. We ask that community members work with us to ensure that WAPA employees and contractors can complete their assigned work without fear of harassment or threats, the release stated. I don't know. I don't think people, if they are attacking WAPA employees, I don't think the problem is they're not properly identified. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think they have grudges and it's misplaced and they're knowingly attacking them. I could be mistaken, but I don't think being better identified is good. But hey, what do I know? What will you think about this?
Yeah, I mean, for the most part, they usually are in their uniforms or in the WAPA vehicle. So I don't want to assume it's a matter of them not being properly dressed or identified. And I do agree sometimes the disgruntled behaviors are being misplaced or misdirected towards the employees who are only doing their job and doing it with the best on the whatever resources they have available with them to do it. So I mean, it could be both. I don't want to say, but I would think it's more one than the other.
Got you. Everything crisp. Not sure what they're referring to on that one. If anybody is listening on TuneIn or through the radio, I like if they could DM us, tell us how we're coming in or something, please. If you're listening, anyway, you could contact Same Difference or the radio station. Let us know how it's sounding on your end, because we've gotten, like Sai said, it sounded good before, but now we're getting messages saying it sounds bad on air, and of course we can't listen.
Yeah, I just got that message too.
From
It's clear. It's coming in clear now. It wasn't clear before.
it. So okay, so now it's good. Is that what you're saying?
I just got the message coming in clear now. Yeah.
All right, thank you. All right, so we got to keep up with that, because obviously if I tried to listen to ourselves, it would give more feedback, which would cause another issue. So I mean,
Understood.
it's not that we know what's going on. So keep us informed. Let us know. We appreciate y'all out there.
We do.
All right, what else we got? On Thursday, the VI Port Authority Governing Board approved millions of dollars for work at the territory airports and voted to keep Willard John as chair. Click the link to read more. Let's read some more. The work approved included $3.6 million for an aviation master plan. This project involves the FAA and will utilize Airport Improvement Program grant funds to conduct work at both airports and assess the potential future needs of both seaplane bases in the territory.
Okay.
Tanisha is saying it sound bad on air for real, for real. I just turned it up. All right, help me out. Is it low? Is it scratchy? Like what is the issue? Like saying it sound bad, I need to know what's the problem. Like you can't hear it, it got feedback, like what's going on with it? According to the staff report, VIPA has been working on phase 1 of the plan since May 2023 and is preparing to move into the second phase. Recondo, the authority's aviation planning consultant, will do the work. It will be funded 90% federally. You were going to say something?
Mm-mm.
All right. The governing board also accepted a $4.6 million proposal from Island Roads Corporation for selective slab replacement of the commercial apron at the Cyril E. King Airport. This project will be funded from the FAA grant funds with a 10% match by the Port Authority. All the work being approved Thursday was not for the airport. Moffat and Nickel received a contract for $131,350 related to the Red Hook Customs Building Design Update Project. Moffat and Nickel was also granted a job not to exceed $441,550 to design and construct a warehouse for the Education Department. This fulfills an obligation the authority had as part of transferring the former Adelita Cancrine Junior High School campus property from the Property and Procurement Department of the authority. We ain't gonna read all of this. Money is getting distributed once again. Money is getting distributed, and once again, it's not necessarily all going to where it's supposed to go, which I think is a issue and an ongoing issue. And it seems like we can't seem to get that fixed for some reason, and I don't know why. Why the money always going here, there, and everywhere? What do you think about that, Neci?
I mean, I've worked in procurement and I've managed many contracts, and there's a lot of steps that are usually in place to ensure things like this doesn't occur. But the rate these things are happening in the government, I don't know. I'm not involved in the government to know what steps that they take and how they manage their stuff. So I don't want to speak on it, but clearly it's a flawed system because it continually happens that funds are being misappropriated and being using for the wrong intent and personal gain. And that just seems that there needs to be a hard stop and definitely a hard consequence for that besides being arrested.
Besides being arrested?
What I'm saying is, in terms of as far as like the government, like the governor, whoever, like if your team, if you got to hold yourself responsible if members underneath your team is constantly coming up in investigations, there would have been a hard all hands on deck meeting. Like people should be fired. They shouldn't be allowed to resign. You'd have been fired from your job. You shouldn't be allowed to be back in the government. Managing this is what I mean. Like, of course, I'm not saying not to be arrested because it's a crime. I'm saying like it's just, they're arrested and they gotta wait for the trial and nothing else happens. Like they need to be more vocal about condemning these behaviors and supporting people who are defend to be speaking out against, like, hey, we're not supporting this. We don't support it. We're that's what I think should be happening, but I don't work in the government.
True. So we don't really know, where the problem is. We just see what's happening, and
Yes.
I wish they could get that resolved though. Like the taking money here to put here, it leaves shortfalls regardless. And I don't know if there's necessarily plans, but we gonna cross our fingers for this new legislature here that they're gonna come up with something to fix those issues. How about that?
And then I just want to point out too, we're only really hearing of the federal funds, because one thing the federal government is going to do is give you funds, but they're always going to come back and investigate and audit how you use those funds. So imagine just the local funds. That's not being held to that type of standard like the federal government. It's holding us accountable. Like, I don't want to presume there's more guilty people, but as long as I've been an adult, this has been a recurring theme for the government.
True. These people don't understand that they are just hurting their own people, the place they live. They are just stealing from themselves. Use the money for what it's supposed to be used for. Greed, man, it's a serious problem. Folks are not trading the contracts / proposals properly. That, or they just don't care. They're getting a piece of the pie. There's only a few things that it could be. You know what I'm saying? And if you're listening right now, please go ahead and share the live, because we want as many people as possible to see these lives and join the conversation. And also, if you're listening, like Tanisha, can you go ahead and check to see how it sounds on air for me one more time? See if it still sounds the same. Let us know, because we got to make some sort of change. All right. Oh, well, that already happened. the what did you think about the State of the Territory address? Did you watch it?
Did, didn't watch it.
You didn't watch it at all?
Nope.
Dang. Okay. Moving on. I watched it. They
Did
went
you
over
watch
it.
it? What is your
I
so did
watched
you watch it? What's your
I watched
feedback?
bits and pieces of it. However, honestly, it just did feel like more of the same. You know what I'm saying? Like, I share the sentiments of several senators where they were saying it seems like the governor, like he basically he's speaking a tale of two Virgin Islands. You know what I'm saying? Like if you listen to what
Mm.
everything is great. There's nothing wrong. We're progressing. But meanwhile, I'm sure the people that live there are hearing about fans dropping on people's head, people passing away while waiting in the emergency room and whatnot. But yeah. All right. So they're telling me that Nisi mics need to be turned on a little bit, and she's coming through choppy on air for some reason. Give me a second. So I'm gonna turn your mic down a bit. Turn mine up. All right, I'm just making some changes. My bad, people. Static key, especially when Nisi speaks. I wonder why.
Because only our team gonna do this, like they're going to make sure we legit and we sound right and we come because we're professional. That's what we do. The Raw FM team is a legit family. We don't play when it comes to us. So we appreciate y'all.
Let me see. Man. So we're gonna have to make some changes. The volume of the song is low, so you need to turn it. What? All right. So I think they took us off the radio, but we're still on the Facebook live stream. So we're gonna go from there.
Okay.
All right. Give me 1 second. It was restarting. Oh man. This is the difficult part about dealing with the radio because I know how it sounds here. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what's going on the radio. We're gonna work through it though. All right, let's keep going. All right. Trump going to national news. Trump drives to cut safety net that could hit his voters. What a surprise. And look who they are. Hey, the man they are now. The new administration wants to slash aid for health, food, and housing, but many of those programs now reach the struggling working class he's courting. Republicans are mulling deep cuts in safety net spending, partly to offset big tax cuts aimed mostly at the wealthy. But some programs they propose to cut reach not just the poorest Americans, but also struggling working class voters, many of whom helped elect Mr. Trump in November. There's absolutely a tension, said Douglas Elmendorf, a former director of the Congressional Budget Office who teaches at Harvard. The Republican Party's support is increasingly coming from people who would be hurt by standard conservative policy. How much the Republicans will cut is unclear, with many forces in play. Reasons to expect deep reductions start with Mr. Trump's first term, when he sought wholesale cuts in food stamps, Medicaid, and housing aid, and nearly repealed the Affordable Care Act, which provides health insurance to 44 million Americans. Though most of his efforts stalled in Congress or in court, he returns atop a movement with more policy expertise while pushing tax cuts amid huge deficits, which increases the political pressure on safety net spending. Days after the election, Mr. Trump created an advisory group known as the Department of Government Efficiency, known as DOGE, whose leader, Elon Musk, has called for as much as $2 trillion with a T, $2 trillion of cuts in a $6.75 trillion federal budget. Mr. Musk referred to such cuts as budgetary shockwaves, though he has since acknowledged that he expects to fall short. With more than half of the budget likely off limits, Social Security, Medicare, defense, and interest on the national debt, programs for the needy are especially vulnerable. This is probably the deepest peril the safety net has been in for at least 3 decades, said Robert Greenstein of the Brookings Institution, a longtime advocate for programs to reduce poverty. Nothing to say on this one. Well, since Nisi doesn't have anything to say, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna bring on the special guest. And I know listen, it's been a rough 2 weeks, right? Everything Trump has been barrage. We've been barraged with Trump, this, Trump, that. I know. We're gonna try to understand the Trump supporters, get an insight into the other side, how they think, why they think the way they do, and get another perspective. Even though this is a different day, me and Nisi are still at the same difference. Check. So please, if you don't, go ahead and leave the live. Stay on with us, please, and keep things as cordial as you can in the comments. Don't disrespect nobody. Don't call nobody on names. Say what you guys say. We appreciate your comments, but please keep things respectful as always. Hey, so with no further ado, Big Free in the building. What going on, Free son?
There, same day. Anything different day? What going on?
Afternoon.
Good afternoon, ma'am. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm
You
doing
want
well.
to introduce yourself to the people who may not know you?
Well, my name is Freestan. Uh, ain't much to really say. They call me Mr. Controversial because I give a
Mhm.
different perspective, different side of things. Might not agree. Might agree. It is what it is. I just know like you stand for something. If you don't stand for something, you die for anything. So
Okay. No, Freeson has been on the show, on the podcast. Let me say that. He's been on our Seeing Difference podcast a while back. We were talking about side chicks. You know what I'm saying? Why side chicks are winning, right? That
mhm.
was a while back. I've never heard anybody say anything bad about him. Matter of fact, it did shock me when I found out the man was a Trump supporter because, but he is. So first and foremost, while I take this call, we want to know why Trump? Why you support Trump overall? Why him? Let's go there.
Well, for the most part, he's the only president I've seen, that says he actually gonna do something and actually do it. Like you might not like how he say it, you might not like what he says, but if he say he gonna do it, he gonna do it. And I ain't gonna tell you, I ain't gonna sit on here and act like, oh, everything he do, like, or everything he say, I agree with. You know,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
I ain't gonna sit on here and agree with everything he says, but for the most part, like I be trying to tell people, like, if there's nothing wrong with disagreeing, but if you're gonna disagree, tell me why. Most people can't tell me why. They just go with the fact that, oh, the media says this and says that about him. Well, okay, well, did you do your research on the guy? Did you actually study the policies and the stuff that he actually put out? Did you take the time to do that? No, most of them they don't. So it's like how you could try to convince me otherwise if you ain't even really like put in the work or even really do any kind of research to see what this man been doing. So that's why. And especially how he helped, black people as especially too. Like he helped a lot in that way. So that's another reason why I back him.
Do elaborate on helping Black people because I would
All
love
right.
to know.
All right. Okay, so when he was in office, like before he
Mhm.
got in office, the black unemployment rate was like over 13, 14%. It was high. The black unemployment rate was high. And after he got in and did what he had to do, it dropped to under 8%. The black unemployment rate, it dropped under 8%. I did my research, I saw it, it's facts. Now, had he had got in, I can't hear you. If you're talking, I can't hear you.
Context is important. What was going on when he got in and when he was leaving? Something was going on now that would cause the unemployment rate to drop. Not necessarily Trump.
Well,
Something
okay, well,
huge.
one thing for sure, like that one the Keystone pipeline, one thing that Biden got rid of when he first got in or whatnot. Trump had put that in place, one, because it was creating jobs, it was creating a lot of jobs, and minorities especially had benefit from that. One, number two, Another thing, he did say he was going to take people off of social security, not social security, off of food stamps and welfare and whatnot, because a lot of people were on it that really didn't need it. They were just taking advantage of the system. So, and I talked to people up here that was living in the hood, and that was like, they were hurting for years because they was always on government assistance. And they told me themselves, they was like, look, this man, he took, they got off of government assistance, and he caused them to get jobs, and they were able to work, and they were self-sufficient. Like, these is people that I've seen it for myself.
Mhm.
So it's not like hearsay or anything. I seen it for myself. Now, another thing too, he had this plan. It's called a platinum plan. You don't really see it. They don't really televise it because it's not something they want to talk about. But it was basically like a plan to bring back like a Black Wall Street, like what they
Mhm.
had before, where it was going to add at least another $500 billion in like buying power towards Black people, minorities and stuff. So it was going to cause to have our own hospitals, own banks. We was going to get better housing communities, better hospitals, all of that. But they don't televise the platinum plan. I read it for myself. I was just reading it just today.
Uh-huh.
If I got reelected that first time, so I was like, oh well. But that's one thing I see that he did for. Well, that's the couple things that I see that he did for
So
minority.
I I was trying to see if you would mention COVID, because COVID highly impacted the unemployment rate. There was nothing that we can actually say Trump did this that affected Black people's employment. We know that if you're not looking for a job, you're automatically taken off of that unemployment count. Now, a lot of people, like, COVID was the biggest thing to impact America and Trump's presidency. So if nobody's looking for work because they tell everybody to sit down, of course the unemployment rate gonna drop because you can't count them no more. And we know what happened. Everybody got sent home. So we can't say that Trump did this. And the platinum plan is a good thing I have a long memory. The platinum plan was Ice Cube's plan that he gave to Trump. He tried to push it to the Dems. He said they didn't listen to him, and he gave it to Trump. Word for word, you can match them. That's Ice Cube's plan.
Okay, now as far as COVID happened towards the ending of his presidency.
Mhm.
It didn't start at the beginning, because COVID really started like at the end of 2019, 2020, when he was getting
Okay.
out. That
Okay.
unemployment rate had already done drop before then. It had already dropped before then. So COVID didn't really impact it in that way. That was
Mhm.
way after the fact. So yeah, that's COVID. Now, as far as the platinum plan, now I don't remember or ever seen any videos or seen any posts with them saying that Ice Cube gave him the idea or something like that. Maybe I probably need to do some more research, but from where I was reading and what I saw, that it was on his web. He had a website where he
Mhm.
put it on, and that's where I saw it from initially. So I ain't gonna discredit the fact that probably Ice Cube did give him the idea, but at the same time,
Mhm.
like I said, I didn't see it, and I've been doing a lot of like research, looking at it, making sure, because I don't really like using Google like on the Safari, because a lot of times they track what you be looking up. So I be using this app called DuckDuckGo. It's a privacy browser app, and what it does, it blocks all the trackers. So like
Okay.
I don't really be seeing no websites that be having ads and stuff like that. So that's why I be using DuckDuckGo all the time. So
Okay.
that's why I say, okay, well, yeah, like I said, I didn't see anything with Ice Cube in it. He probably did. I'm not discrediting it, but I didn't see it.
I got you.
So
Nisi,
yeah.
you want to weigh in, or you gonna just give him the face?
No, I'm listening because I want to make sure that I'm hearing his point of view. But what I want to piggyback to say regarding the unemployment rate, I think you're overlooking how the structure works. Trump inherited a low unemployment rate from the Obama administration. He came in with a low unemployment rate. He had that for at least the first 2 years. It did climb up afterwards, and like you said, it did come back down at a certain point. I think we were supposed to be having, there was a point where we were going to look at having another economic, what it was, housing crisis.
Mm.
And that kind of brought it back down. And then that rolled into COVID. So I don't want to, so the entire thing is not him. There was a portion I will give him credit for, but the majority of his unemployment that he inherited was not from him. It was from Obama. Under his current first term, he implemented a higher tax structure that just expired January 2025. So for everyone who was talking about, oh, we had a high tax rate under Biden, blah, 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 we was living under Trump's tax law that he enforced and just expired in January 2025. So I just wanted to just point that out as well. I'm not taking away all his credit, but majority of it was not him that created that low economic rates. It's job rates, I'm sorry.
So Free, is jobs your like big thing? Like that's the issue that you're mostly concerned with? Or what is?
Yeah, that's one of the things I'm mostly concerned with, because I mean, you want to get people a working economy is a flourishing economy. You know, when people could be able to go out there, make their money, you know, take care of their family, take care of themselves. That's a flourishing economy. And you can't have if you have people inside, you can't really do that. And there's a lot of people that was outside working, you know, and was able to be self-sufficient. So that's a main thing for me. Like if I could be in an economy where, because at the same time, if everybody's working and everybody's able to make their money and do what they have to do, everybody minding their business. You ain't really have too much issues. Nobody. I mean, of course, you can always have the people on stage watching face and whatnot, but for the most part, everybody going, you know, they could be able to do what they have to do, you know. So,
well, I think that goes along with a good economy, period. You know what I'm saying? Like when the economy is good, you don't really have much to complain about, and people doing their thing. Just like I think with the VI, I think that's how, you know, how St. Thomas, St. Thomians, they'll call St. Croix people St. Croix.
yeah.
But the thing is, if you look at the economy, it's because the economy difference. The economy is better in St. Thomas than it is in St. Croix. So they're like, oh, well, why are you balling about we good? You know what I'm saying? So we have to look at that too. So I agree with you. When people are working, they ain't worried about no shoppiness and, you know, crime goes down and all of that stuff. I agree with you. So now, with you saying that, what is your stance on what he's doing with he's sending emails to federal employees? Because the U.S. government is the biggest employer in the United States. They literally have millions of people working for them, and they're sending out emails saying that basically you could go ahead and sit at home, take this money we're going to pay you up until September, and take this buyout.
Okay, so as far as that is concerned, from what I understand, and I guess what I read, a lot of the federal employees, a lot of them were like working from home. They wasn't like coming in to work and everything. They were just at home getting a check. And another thing too, from what I understand and what I read, is a lot of them, they were just given the jobs. They were like, they didn't get any vetting or anything. Like they were just handed the jobs. So they were just able to stay at home, make their money, ain't really had to do too much. And the reason why I kind of believe it, because okay, one time I had called the IRS because I owed them for something. Can't remember what it was, but I owed them for something. And the people I talked to at that time, they sounded like they were home. They were just outside chilling. They didn't know what they were doing. So it kind of like concerned me. But when I talked to them before, it sounded like somebody was actually in the office working. They knew what they're doing. But when I couldn't really like the difference now when I heard them this time when I talk to them and I hear like dogs barking in the background and it sounds like somebody washing clothes. I was like, this the IRS number? Like this ain't sitting right with me. So, and another thing I be telling people too, you gotta understand, as the president, he knows more information than everybody else, right? So a lot of times he might say some things that's outrageous, and I ain't gonna lie, I don't agree with everything he does say because he might say some outrageous stuff. I can definitely give you that, but at the same time, he knows a lot more information, and the information that he knows is a lot of it is tied to national security. He can't really give all the information. He can only, say what he can say, and so yeah. But as far as like that federal buyout, I could see why he went with that because a lot of them been working from home, a lot, and they ain't really been in the office. They're just collecting a check.
So, according to News 4 Washington, about 54% of federal employees work from home, right? From what I just looked up. That is a large percentage. So how do you square, though, you're saying too many people work from home and are collecting a check to sending potentially majority of the workforce home and to have them collect a check, though? Like, how does that help? And then the people like that you said that they were just placed into these positions, that's exactly what they're planning to do, to just take people that they like loyalists and put them into the positions. So what's the difference? I don't understand.
Well, I mean, when he gave his executive order, right? He said he basically wanted it to be on like based on like hard work, merit, and stuff like that in his executive order. That's what he said. Regardless of like color, gender, race, whatever it is.
Right.
Like, so now, as far as him giving them that buyout, I haven't really dug too deep into why he took that route, because initially he was just, from what I understand, he was just gonna get rid of them, like get them out of there. But I guess he decided to have a change of heart. So that's why
they have until this Friday.
You said what?
They have until this Friday.
They do. So
yeah.
Oh, like I said, I ain't look too deep into it. I see what they're putting out there in the news. I see what's going on. And like I said, for some of the stuff I was reading, he was trying to, because one of the things he really wanted to do, he really wanted to abolish the IRS. He wanted to get rid of it, like get it out of there. He wanted to get rid of it. But the military was basically telling him, like, you can't do something like that. Like, that's too radical, that's too steep. You can't do something like that. So he was offering them, that's why he offered them to buy out their contract and give them that 8 months, I guess, until September.
Do you know which agencies he offered this buyout to? Because I feel like you're speaking really blanketly, but I don't think you're understanding the magnitude of the federal agencies that are impacted by what he wants to do. Like, do you know which it's not the IRS is not the sole agency that he's targeting to gut on Friday.
I know that's not the main one. Oh, that's not the only one, but that's why I said I didn't do research, but that's one of the ones that I saw. So I don't know all of them, but
let me help you with a little bit of what I know, because it's all about what I know. The biggest departments of the federal government is the Department of Homeland Security and Defense. They're being impacted with this buyout as well.
Right.
There was no process in whom was selected to be cut. It's just how he chose to want to cut them. So it's not like there was a survey done or research done or some statistical thing was conducted to determine which departments or which agencies within departments are inefficient or not performing to task to cut those departments. That's not what happened to make that decision. So for me, that's where the danger of what he's doing can come in. Because if you're not even vetting or doing any due process in terms of where you're cutting and who you're cutting, you don't really understand where your key areas are and how that will affect your ability to run these departments long term will affect you or affect the Americans. Because at the end of the day, it's all about the oversight of America, which impact Americans. So he didn't do that. So for me, it seems like it's just however he sees fit is how it's being done and implemented. Other things he's looking at is your national wildlife and forest, those groups. There is a major fire in Los Angeles. You're cutting the staff for your national parks and services that manages a lot of these historical places that we've been preserving for hundreds of years to just go unmanned and unattended to what ends?
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like I said, for me, I have to look more into it. I have to look more into it because when I saw it on TV and I saw that they were talking about it for the most part, I said, okay, well, I understand this part. I never really took the time to look more into it. So I can, if I get a chance to look more into it, I can give a more broad answer. You know,
Okay.
like
Okay.
So we agree though. We do agree though that people working is good. It's good for the economy. It's good for the United States. We agree across the board, right?
right.
So that's what'll get me with like trying to square what he's saying and what he's doing with how it's going to help. Because we all agree people working is good. People getting paid is good. So now he gonna hit the largest employer in the United States with buyouts. He gonna pay people to literally not be at work and sit home for till September, you know. And somehow that's going to help. I can't wrap my head around that.
But I just want to correct you. One, what he's doing is not a buyout. If you look up how buyouts happen, you're not paying somebody from now to September. That's not a buyout because you're not It's not like you're reappropriating the funds that you're trying to save by letting these people go and using it somewhere else. You still have to pay them through September. So whether the person is there or not, the funds is still has to be available to pay them. All you're doing is removing the body count, which also then leaves a workload to go unattended despite having to pay them. So to me, he says things and he does what he says, but not because somebody tell you that they're gonna harm you and they do harm you means that you're gonna trust them because they did it. Like to me, there has to be a criteria of how it really works, why we're doing it, and this is how it'll better us. Because just saying it and doing it right now, how it's looking, it's like we just came out of maybe there was going to be a shutdown. We're headed back there before he's really even started his presidency for February. Because if you're letting the people go home, just randomly selected, however they're selected, there wasn't even a process of selection. And cutting so much department heads, but I have to pay you through September. How is that efficient or effective?
We can't seem to square it, but we can't seem to square it, and it hasn't been explained. And then the rollouts. I think get
I thought, from what I understood, I thought it was gonna be like a severance pay. I didn't know it was like
it's
a
not. No,
more
they're
like a
paying
layoff.
them. They're paying them the full benefits through September.
That's what I'm
So
saying.
then
So that's why I didn't really. That's why I can't really talk too much about that part. That's why I said I was reading on it, but I didn't get to read too deep into it. I only saw certain things on it, so I can't really speak too much on it. Like, there's only so much information they're putting out there right now. You know what I mean? So that we could truly understand.
They haven't put out any information. They put out what they want to do. They never put out how they're going to do it and what's going to happen when they do it. I don't have a problem. So I want to be clear, I am not a Democrat. I'm not a Republican. So I just
Right.
want to be very clear. It's not I'm not here standing like, oh, I'm pro-Democrat. But what I'm saying is that the process, there was no policies rolled out during his campaign in terms of how he's going to do anything. He said what he wants to do, which most candidates do, but how, once he became the selected candidate, there was no how. The other party did provide some hows and how they intended to do things, which is a different story. But we're talking about him because he's the president. Now that he's in, there's still no hows. It's just he's doing them. Yes, he's signing these executive orders and he's putting them in place. But what it does seem like that's happening, which, that in conversations I'm having with people who do support him, is there's not a lot of any real investigation into what he says. Is he said it, and so we do support it, but there's no, like you're saying, you don't know more. For me, I have to look at more to decide who I'm going to support, because you just saying one thing, I need to understand how it's going to be implemented. And then, like he just did the tariff thing this week, and now Canada and Mexico has responded. I don't think America understands the repercussions of Canada and Mexico not importing goods into the US. I don't think we really get the magnitude of what's rolling out from this. Canada and Mexico can stand alone, even though it's going to be a detriment to them. They can stand alone and flourish. America cannot.
So we want to make this clear, right? We're not here to beat up on anybody. We really are trying to understand, and we're not asking you to explain what he's doing. You get what I'm saying? Like, we just kind of want to understand where you're coming from, so we can get that perspective. I want to make that clear.
But I just want to say before you continue, I don't expect him to explain Trump's decisions to me, because he's not him, but he's a supporter of. So he's here to help us with his views, and we're here to understand, and we're here to also provide what we know, because I don't know everything. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I know every single thing Trump does or any single thing any of the other candidates did and what they're going to. I'm not putting my hand on the Bible for none of them. So it's not that for me either.
Right. No, I want to piggyback off of you saying that America can't stand alone, right? Now, as far as I know, right, America is the only country I know that supports over 90 countries. If America don't support them, they can't stand. That's one thing I know. Now, there's a thing called NATO, right? There's a lot of countries, they come together, and America protects them, basically. And the thing is, from what I understand, I don't know how true it is. It probably is, probably isn't, because like I said, this man, he says a lot of things. We were basically paying them to protect them. Now, if I'm supposed to protect you, I'm not supposed to pay you, you're supposed to pay me, right? So that's why I say go back to America. If America don't support a lot of these countries, they can't stand. America could stand on their own. For the most part, they can really stand on their own, but a lot of countries won't be able to stand if America don't support them.
What I say that they won't be able to stand alone, I mean, our military, I believe our military is a great military and so forth. I'm talking about the import-export only. America is one of the few countries that don't make 100% of anything that they own. That's American made. One of the few. They do make things 100% in America. I want to be clear, but they're one of the countries that don't make 100. Majority of the things that they have, 100% is not American, solely made in America. Like the American made cars aren't 100% made in America. They start the frames in America, they export them out to Mexico and other countries to do other things, import them back and finish them in America. And they're considered American made. They don't make it from beginning to end 100% in America. So that's what I'm talking about when I say like stand on its own. It's that a lot of the things aren't 100% from beginning to end made in America that we depend on for our everyday livelihoods.
but even like the oil, because Trump said, drill, baby, drill, the oil thing. Come to find out that a large percent of the oil that is from Canada, is not from us. And like, even if they drill in Alaska, it has to go through Canada to get to us. There's a whole country in between. So I don't understand again, why are we beefing with the country above and below us? When technically we're all North America. Why are we beefing with them? Why are we creating problems with them in order to help America? I don't understand how that's gonna help. So like, what's your stance on the tariffs? Are you cool with the tariffs, which is basically a tax?
Well, in his first what's it called, administration, his first term, he did impose tariffs on China, especially. He imposed them tariffs on China, and China had to pay, and China did pay. Now they didn't like it, they hated it, but they had to pay. So as far as tariffs, not everybody can impose tariffs and be like, oh, I could get away with it, right? You gotta know what you're doing when you're doing something like that, you know. And he was threatening to basically, like, because the thing is, a lot of our products were going to China, and they were charging, they were taxing us for our products being sold in China. And when they were shipping their stuff here, it was for free. They wasn't paying no tariffs. They wasn't paying none of that. So Trump was like, all right, nah, y'all can't keep doing that, because we giving y'all all this money, all this billions and billions of dollars a year, and y'all bringing y'all stuff here, and y'all not getting charged for it. So this what's about to happen is either y'all pay these tariffs, and the longer y'all wait, the higher the tariffs go. China eventually had to pay. That's one of the reasons I know they were so upset. So as far as tariffs is concerned, that's nothing new. Every president I know, every leader has imposed tariffs in some way, shape, or form. You
Tariffs,
know, so
tariffs, I think that, you see, it's a confusion about what a tariff is, because Trump is saying that they're going to pay. That doesn't make it true. A tariff is basically charging them, yes. However, if anybody knows anything about business, if you charge me more to make a product, I'm going to in turn pass it on to the customer. And huge things like Amazon, Temu, Shein, all these popular sites, most of their stuff is from China. Like, even Trump's Make America Great Again hats are made in China. When you buy things in bulk, chances are they're coming from China. So you're gonna tell China, pay this amount more to send me stuff to sell, right? So what do you think China's gonna do? If I charge them $5 more for every piece of merchandise, they're gonna pass the $5 back on to the customer. So it's gonna hurt us with inflation. Yes, tariffs is nothing new, but it's a political tactic. It's not a tactic to help us. That's a tactic like holding somebody hostage. Yes, it's a tactic. It doesn't mean it's going to help the economy, because like somebody's going to pay, and I guarantee it's not going to be the person that's selling the stuff. Any business, if they increase sales tax, that business is going to pass the sales tax increase onto the customer. And we're already in the middle of an inflationary period. So I don't see, again, how is that going to help us? And I thought this was supposed to be about the cost of eggs. The cost of eggs going to go up too, unless you know what I'm saying? Eggs, gas.
It's already up.
Okay, so like I said, in his first term, he imposed them tariffs. They paid, right? Did we hit inflation? Did everything go up in his first term? If anything, I saw things start going down. I watched this video with this guy. He went he put this what's it called? He did his grocery list in like he showed his grocery list from like 2017 or 2018, something like that. He went to Walmart. He bought like
the same things to show the price difference. I saw that.
Now during that time, like I said, tariffs were imposed on certain countries because they wasn't paying. They were just getting our products and selling them for free, and well, they were taxing us to sell their products and get their products to them, but they were bringing it in for free. And then he imposed the tariffs. They end up having to pay us billions and billions of dollars. Like I say, I didn't see how it affected the economy negatively, because like I say, gas prices were low, the cost of living were low, the cost of groceries and foods, the what's it called, the market, I mean not market, the housing market, the interest rates were low, it wasn't high, you know. So that's what I'm saying, like tariffs, if he know how to do with the tariffs, might as well, because it didn't cause, nothing actually went up, nothing was actually bad until COVID. When COVID came, everything went up, everything shot up, because like I said, with the tariffs, you couldn't really say, well, nobody wasn't working, everything was high. I didn't see it.
So okay, even in that video, right? He measured which years?
It was it was either 2017 or 2018, and then he measured his groceries that he bought in 2022
4
or whatever year it was.
But you see what I'm saying about context and COVID? Like COVID happened in between those years. Like, so we can't discount it and say that it's because of Biden, it's because of, like, those were the COVID years in between the time. And the housing market, if we remember, because everybody was staying home, housing prices skyrocketed. And they haven't come down since. They're still high now. Like gas has come down, but if you notice, when things go up, corporations don't bring them back down. Remember when the airlines first started increasing the cost of the tickets, they said it was because of the high gas prices. They never brought them back down. In fact, they started charging us baggage fees and all this extra stuff. They never brought it back down. And if we go through another higher inflationary period, which tariffs will cause, if we go through that again, the prices will go up more and then come down to a higher point than where they were before. That's what we're living in now. The effects of price gouging. And we still looking for more. Right? That's why it's like we're in a bad position, and now is not the time. So this man was supposed to price of eggs.
I think I can speak on this because my main background is logistics. I ship, export, import around the world for my company. So we bring things from all over for my job. And I think that because he's imposing the tariffs on our country, I don't think we understand that, like Jah said, is that cost isn't going to be, the country isn't going to consume that cost without recouping it at some point. They're going to charge it back to you. So whether you said, if it's whatever the price increase is, if they say, okay, well, now your new price for your new item is no longer $2, it's now $5, because they've already factored in whatever tax you're imposing on them back into the price of what you want to purchase from them. And then when it gets to America, whoever is purchasing the goods, now they have to determine, okay, well, before it was $2, now it's $5. And I'll give an example. There was a company, and I forgot the name of the company, this Christmas break, and it's an American company. They did not give their staff Christmas bonuses. And in their letter to the staff, they said it's because they wanted to purchase the materials that they need for the next year in bulk at the cost that they have them now, in order to maintain their staff, their team, and keep them at their salaries and not having to incur more costs. And the company did not understand that something as simple as possibly having tariffs imposed could affect them getting bonuses. But I want to go back and say as well is he did sign that tariff increase, but I think you need to go back when you have a chance to look to see when did it become effective. Because not because you sign something means it's effective tomorrow. Things like tax structures and stuff you have to wait for the current tax structure to end before you can implement the new one. So when he was in office, if he and I don't recall him signing a tariff, so I'm not going to speak on that. But if he did like I just said before, we're currently under we just expired from his tax structure in January, which ran through the Biden years that Biden was in office. Those things don't just start today, tomorrow, and the next year. It runs for a period of time to make sure it's implemented across the board. So I haven't looked up what the new tax structure that's going to take in place that Biden put in place is going to be, or how that's going to be impacted. But we have to look at how the timing of those things when they go in effect plays a role.
Because they're gonna try to put through new tax cuts before the other ones end. So I mean, and quite frankly, the last one didn't really help. Like, especially talking to tax professionals, like my H&R Block tax professional was saying people are leaving crying. People that got refunds year after year now, when the stuff ended, is like, what? I ain't getting back nothing I owe. So, like she said, it's true. That's what happens because there's timelines. The tariffs don't start until Tuesday, I think. So it's going to take a while, but we're going to see it happen. We're going to see the inflation, but then by then it'll be too late. But then another part we don't talk about is if they raise it to $5, if they raise the price of something to $5, if they remove the tariffs, right, they ain't bringing it back down to $2. They might bring it back down to $3 or $4 or leave it at $5. So now that's the new normal. You know what I'm saying? So that's another thing. Like, we don't talk about these type of things enough, because we just worried about our day-to-day and our personal household, which I think, I ain't gonna lie, I think that's what a lot of Trump supporters will be doing. They look at themselves. So unless it hits themselves, their family, like, they don't really care. Am I tripping with that, Free? Like, if you good, I don't care.
I mean, for the most part, there's some stuff that like I said, there's some stuff he does and there's some stuff that he says. It has personally affected me. But it's not the first time a president or anybody that's in leadership, for the most part, has done anything that has affected me. You know, so I wouldn't sit on there and say like nothing he does don't affect me. It affect me too, because I'm an everyday person just like us here. You know, my mindset, I look at it as, okay, today for me, tomorrow for you. You know what I mean? So it might not affect me today, but it might affect me tomorrow. You know, so I won't sit on there and act like nothing he does doesn't affect me. It's just like, all right, well, if you say you're gonna do this, all right, go ahead, do your thing, but at least don't keep me in the dark. Just don't do it, and the next thing you know, I got affected. It's like, oh, okay, all right, here's what it is. Like, don't do that.
Where there's been a very popular 3 letters. There's been a very popular 3 letters in the past month or so. DEI.
I know what you know with that.
Eric and Ivanka. I'm talking diversity, equity, and inclusion. So straight up, Free said, why do you hate DEI? Why do you hate DEI?
I don't hate DEI. I don't hate DEI. It's just like when I was reading, when I was reading on it, like especially on like the White House website, right?
Okay.
Now everybody was freaking out. He getting rid of DEI. He getting rid of DEI. Da, 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 da. So I'm like, I didn't even know what that was initially. Okay. Until I read on it, I was like, oh, so he didn't personally he didn't really get rid of DEI. He just got rid of like a lot of the policies and a lot of the stuff that relates to it, from what I understand. Like his executive orders got rid of some of the stuff that was like related to it, because first it wasn't discrimination against people of race. Initially, it wasn't going to discriminate against people against their race, color, and gender. But then afterwards, they added the alphabet community, you know what I mean, the LGBTQ whatever. So it was
Yeah,
like discriminate against race, color, gender, and them. So I'm like, okay, I get it. Now, on top of that, like I say, his policies was going against that because why? First of all, I just don't understand why he even had to write an executive order or write any policies or orders that states that there's only two genders. Like that to me, that still shocks me to this day because like why you even have to write anything that acknowledge that there's only two genders, right? Everybody should know that. But I guess different stroke for different folks. Another thing I realized too when it came to that DI whatnot, there was a lot of people that was getting a lot of. This is what I read. This is what I understand. This is what I researched. A lot of people. It wasn't like people that was like bi or gay anything. There was a lot of transgenders that were getting a lot of positions that a lot of time they didn't qualify for. And also another thing too was like you was having men dressed as women or cross-dressing as women playing in women's sports, doing things in like women areas. My thing is, if you're a man, why do you need to partake in women's sports or women's activities? Why? Like you are a man, you have your own side. There's women, they have their own side. Let them have theirs. You have yours. Why you have to interfere in that? That never made sense to me. So that's why I think the DI, the executive orders to fix that part of DI, that's what I agree with. I didn't see him get rid of DEI itself, from what I understand.
Let me. So I wanna go over the definition for those who may not know what DEI is, because a lot of people believe that DEI is a law. It is not. It's programs, policies, initiatives put in place. It's programs. It's not one particular law, but I want to go over what that is. One moment. What is the simple explanation of DEI? Diversity, equity, and inclusion are organizational frameworks which seek to promote the fair treatment and full participation of all people, particularly groups who have historically been underrepresented or subject to discrimination on the basis of identity or disability. So DEI and civil rights, it's damn near linked, right? You know what? Me and you both served in the military. The US military is one of the biggest DEI programs because, like, when you go in, there's multiple colors, races, religions, but all of us have to work together as a team and without discrimination. And it's not supposed to have sexual harassment and all these other things going on. That's what DEI was fighting against. So for him to go ahead and cancel all of DEI is a problem that a lot of people have. And the fact that a lot of people don't know what it is why he dismantled it so easily. So things like DEI, like Greg Abbott right now, the governor Greg Abbott, right? He is in a wheelchair. He's disabled. He's getting rid of DEI programs and initiatives in his state. Dude, if you get rid of that, they should get rid of the wheelchair ramps because those are DEI initiatives. So you using a wheelchair ramp, that's a DEI initiative. We're trying to make it to where everyone can work here and not be discriminated against, and for stuff that's accessible to me, be accessible to everyone else. So he's literally discriminating against himself. And because they don't really want to say what the problem is, which is this. What? That's all right. They basically are saying they use DEI to say black people. DEI is the N-word. That's really what it is. And do you really, Freestand, I'm sure you've had several jobs before. Do you believe that jobs, with or without DEI, right? Do you believe that majority of the people hired are based on merit? Mind you, keep in mind that If you place two resumes next to each other, you have about 15 to 30 seconds to impress that person.
Right.
So do you from what you've seen, just your experience?
No, I don't think people. Not nowadays. A lot of times, I know people. If you're gonna get hired, is who you know, and even like what you know is who you know. And now it reached a point where, from what I understand, 'cause I talk to like some HR people too, like they get tired of just looking through resumes on paper. If you're they have this machine, I guess, or something now that your resume have to hit certain code words for them to
Correct.
even look.
Correct.
So if ain't hit them certain code words, that resume gonna never get looked at, you know, and you might get hit with an automated email. Thank you for your interest in such and such and such, but we're not, you know. So if he wants to do it with as far as hard work and merit is concerned, like I say, he said that's what he want to do. I want to see, you know, what he gonna bring to the table to you know, counter that, because you can't just say, oh well, yes, I do agree people do need to get hired based off hard work and merit, but
That'd be great.
taking something away, what you gonna do to replace it?
EI programs were put in place because that was not happening. That's the thing. LinkedIn, according to LinkedIn, I don't know if you can see it, 85%. They did a survey. LinkedIn did a survey. 85% of all jobs are filled based on networking, who you know and who you talk to. Right. So now, getting rid of these programs, how is it supposed to help other people get the job?
I mean, before, from what I experienced, before DEI was even a thing, like before DEI was even a thing, people were still getting hired based off who you know. From my experience, before I knew what DEI was.
Attack legacies of college.
You know what?
That's not merit. They won't go after legacy programs, which you know in college. If my father, my grandfather, my mother, or whatever went to this esteemed college, you could get in based off you're just part of that bloodline. They don't ever go after that. If they care about merit, why don't they go after that?
Well, I mean, isn't that what's that word called for it? There's a word called for it that I can't remember what the name of it is, but basically, like, huh?
You talking about affirmative action?
No, like when you basically like you getting hired, based off of who, like what you said, a bloodline, you know, or their parents used to go to this esteemed college and now they got out and now they getting this opportunity over everybody else. There's a word for it, I just can't remember it. Because they were saying the same thing about LeBron and his son.
Yes, I know you.
Nepotism.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So they've been trying to battle nepotism for the longest. You know, that I don't think they'll ever get away with that. I mean,
not the Trump administration. Not the Trump administration, though, because he hired his whole family and moved them into the White House. Now, if Obama did that, it'd have been a problem, though. Come on, no.
Of course, like I say, anybody when it comes to nepotism and whatnot, like I don't know. Like I say, he have his way of doing things. Like I said, I don't always agree with everything he does.
But overall, you're on board.
But for the most part, there's a lot of things that he say, and you know, like I say, it's outrageous. I'm like, dude, what you have to say that? I'll tell you one thing for sure I didn't agree with. I thought that he was wild for saying, and I would never agree with it up to this day. When he told people, oh, if they're so scared, you know, they to drink, what you say, drink Clorox or Lysol or something like that?
Yeah. To drink bleach,
like, dude, why would you say something like that? You know what I mean? Like, I thought that was nuts, you know.
Okay.
Everybody,
good. You don't go with everything. Okay.
On and down my inbox, and what you gotta say about your boy? No, we got. I'm like, look, I never say I agree with everything he says or does. I never said that. It's just for my thing is right. A lot of people be telling me, oh, they don't like Trump. They hate him for whatever reason. Why? Tell me why. What are the things that he's done, you know, that you hate him for? Oh, he racist. Okay, what makes him racist? You know, I've asked so many people that question, and very, very few people has actually been able to tell me what makes him racist.
I have
Very
a feeling
few.
you want to answer that. Hey, did you know that there's a tour in New York of all the places that he's discriminated against people of color? Did you know that?
No, I didn't.
Okay. Nisi, did you wanna you wanna weigh in here? Because you did the face. I misread it. All right. Like I can answer it because there's several examples. There's like a lot of examples. Did you want me to or
Go ahead. I want to hear it. Nobody have really ever gave me an answer like what makes him racist.
the birther thing with Obama? That's one. The Central
who?
Park Five, the birther issue where he was saying that Obama was not that he was an immigrant. He wasn't born in America and he ain't legal. Like they hadn't already checked all his stuff before he could be president. Like they hadn't already done all that.
Okay.
That was arguably racist.
Okay.
The Central Park Five, even after they were exonerated, this man pulled a full page ad trying to get them boys killed. He trying to get them the death penalty after they were exonerated. All right.
Okay.
He's discriminated against multiple people of color and had several lawsuits placed against him for discriminating against black people just trying to rent from him. They were literally just trying to pay him to rent one of his places, and he discriminated against them. When he came down off the elevator and he called Mexicans rapists and criminals, that's racist. The S-hole countries, racist. Like, I need to go on? I think I do my point. It's fine. It's fine. I think I have several. When I don't know, it's arguably racist how he was going out with Kamala Tang, but she just happened to be black now. Like, come on, man. Like, what are you saying right now? Like, she just popped up black. She used to be Indian, she black now. No.
Wasn't she the one that said that she black or she had black in her? She had black relatives. Her what is it? Her family or was Jamaican or something like that.
Oh my God. Okay.
I'm just asking. Did she say she had relatives or something that was Jamaican or something like that?
Parent, like that's a fact though. So,
Well, okay.
Isn't she? Her father ain't black. Am I tripping?
That's what she said. She said she black.
She said.
She said she black. She black. If you sit on that, you tell me you white. Okay, you white.
Nah. No. Because you won't even
argue you. That's what you say.
You won't accept the gender thing. You won't accept the gender thing. If somebody said, if I look at you and say as a woman, you won't accept that. But you'll accept it if I told you.
No. If you want to sit on there and you want to call yourself a woman, now me personally, I gonna watch you like what? But be a woman. If you want to be a woman, be a woman. That's what you want to be. Who am I to stop you? Be what you want to be. I just ask. Don't try to force me to believe that's what you are. That's what you want to. Don't force me. If you want to be a woman, you want to be white. You want to be orange. Be that. I don't care. Just don't come and force me to do that. Because like you have your beliefs, I have mine.
Darren says, Edas blame Democrats for going too far left and creating the environment to have Trump and MAGA to come up. Every action has a reaction. I blame Obama, actually. I blame Obama. And I agree with him. I agree with what he's saying. I blame the Democrats for a lot, to tell you the truth. I feel I personally am more progressive than anything, and they did go too far left. But I think Trump is a reaction to Obama being elected.
Yeah.
They went too far left and forgot about middle America, and they responded in kind. They need to look in the mirror for the next 2 to 4 years and evaluate what they prioritize. The Dems are not winners. They do not enact anything. Like when they were in power in both the House and the Senate, and they didn't do anything. Like they really don't do.
They've been
much.
doing that for years. That's not nothing new.
That's a fact.
They've been doing it a long time. A lot. They said they come, they sell you these promises, sell you these dreams. Oh, we're gonna fight for you. We're gonna do this for you. Da 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 da. Okay, cool. They get in.
They don't do much. That's true.
Where is it? Where is it?
He's just looking. Their stances and policies created the devastating losses in the White House, Senate, and House. True. Time to reevaluate and come back to earth, and start to come back to the center and appeal to average Americans. So before we lighten up the mood here, let me ask you this, because just recently, just this past week, same difference, and some people on your page over our post got into it over that helicopter crash. Over that damn helicopter. So we gotta talk about it. So there was a Black Hawk crashed into an American Airlines plane. Several people passed away, right? Everyone died, actually. Everyone died in both. And before they could even pull the bodies out the water, Trump is already blaming Biden and DEI. He hadn't visited the crash site, hadn't talked to nobody, and he's already blaming DEI. I got a video here I want to play from a little boy off TikTok, a youngster. See what you think.
They hadn't even finished pulling the dead bodies out of the river when that silly ass man said the cause of the plane crash with the military Black Hawk was diversity, equity, and inclusion, DEI. And when asked about it, he said, "Oh, I wouldn't. How could you know?" He said, "Because I have a brain." These people are unrelentless and care nothing about the average working American. Like, people are dying. People are literally in the water dead. People are having to come to the terms that their family members are dead. And your best response is this has something to do with DEI. And what makes it even worse is the Secretary of Defense, the Vice President, all these people doubled down on that same statement, as ridiculous as it was. None of these people have a spine. None of these people have balls or the gumption to stand up to this silly ass man. It's getting ridiculous. Diversity, equity, and inclusion probably had nothing to do with this terrible tragedy and accident. People are dead, and the only thing you can think to do is attempt to score some political points. Fucking ridiculous.
I didn't know it had bad words. My bad. I should have screened it more. But we found out since that both pilots were able-bodied white men. So you had posted something about the crash, how he was talking about going swimming, and you say you didn't see him say anything wrong. Now, can you clarify that point? Because the reporter was asking, have you been to talk to any of the family members? Have you talked to any of the first responders? And are you going to visit the crash site? He said something about what you want. He ain't going. What you want me to do? Go swimming. And you say you didn't find nothing wrong in what he said. Can you clarify your point, sir?
Okay. So the video I watched, they asked him if he had talked to the families already, right? He said he can't comment on that. I don't know why. He said he can't comment on it, right?
Okay.
Then they asked him, are you going to visit the crash site? So he was like, I mean, the crash site is in water. What you want me to do? Go swimming? Now, it's sarcastic. It's a sarcastic answer. But I mean, if you really look at it, it's like the crash site is in water. It's not on land. It's in water. So him asking if you want him to go swimming, like I say, it's a sarcastic thing, but what do you want him to do? Now, I could understand if it was on land and he was something he could have get to, that's different. But some people were telling me, you could just like take a helicopter and go over the crash site, go over the water, and just like throw flowers there or something. Really? So you want him to go over water and just throw flowers underwater for it to disperse? I've seen crash sites where people died and they put flowers on the ground and on the crash site. It's still there because oh well, this thing happened right in this area right here, like specifically right here. You telling me, okay, you want me to go in the crash site? It's in water. If if I spit in water right now, it gonna disperse. So I mean, let's be real. You what could he have possibly done at that moment to say, oh well, it's a water. Like there's nothing he could really do.
So
That's different. I mean, we can go deep sea diving to pick up pieces of the plane or do something to be like, oh, here I found something. Let's commemorate and memorize this.
So, okay, when any disaster happens, especially one like this, and then make it worse, it happened over the Potomac, if I'm not mistaken, which is near Washington, D.C., where the White House and Trump is. I don't think the reporter asked anything crazy when she asked those questions, because, like, I don't work for FEMA, VITEMA, none of them emergency response places, but I have taken some courses on like emergency management. And no matter where something happens, they basically do pretty much the same thing, right? They investigate there where it happened. So yes, there were probably divers and stuff taking pictures, videos and stuff, but they had to recover the plane and the parts to do a deep investigation, which most likely happened on the land near the water. And they probably established a command center with, you know, a command structure. So he could have called. He didn't even have to go. He could have called and checked with that command center and get information. He didn't. He could have went to the site, and even if you want a little photo up, take a little photo up near the site or something. He didn't. All of that to say, at the end of what he said to the reporter was he's going to visit some of the family members. I don't know why only some, whatever. But the fact that he was blaming DEI before he didn't try to get any information. That's by his own admission. He didn't try to get any information, but he's already blaming people. Why are you doing that? And then people just want to see some sort of compassion. This isn't the guy for it, which makes it difficult to believe this is the guy we need for disasters. You get what I'm saying? Like, people were looking for him to act presidential, which we've been acting since the first time. But he is who he is. So I don't even know why she expected anything different. But he didn't even say, like, I'm thinking about it, I will. None of that stuff. The man making jokes. People are dead. Like, that, in my opinion, is not what we need. Like,
I don't think you could when he said that though. I ain't gonna lie, it was kind of sarcastic. I don't think he was laughing when he said it. Like, when you want me to go swimming? Like, he said it with a straight face. Like, he
meant, and that's what make it frig up though. But then all they want to know, are you gonna at least contact these people? Like,
he did say he was gonna contact some of the family. Like, that's what I told from earlier, right?
Why
he has access to information we don't. So he probably does know certain things that we don't know. He probably can comment on certain things, and there's probably certain things he can't comment on. I don't know what that is.
On the Gulf of America, though, like, did we ask for that? But you can't take a little comment.
We didn't ask for the military bases to get renamed either. All of them got renamed.
Say that again.
We didn't ask for none of the military bases to be renamed either.
Did not happen on the bike.
Did it?
But people did ask for it. They're racist names. Like, people did ask for it. Just like we got rid of the statues. Like, they are racist memorabilia. They belong in museums, not at something where soldiers go. They don't belong there. We saluting losers. They lost. I thought Trump didn't like losers.
And a lot of them that got renamed were still losers too. So I mean, that's what I'm saying. It is what it is. Damn if you do, damn if you don't. Damn if you do, damn if you don't. I mean,
that's what it is. I don't like to call people narcissists because you need a diagnosis. But the man does lack empathy, and I think that's what the reporter was looking for. Like, are you doing something instead of sitting here doing 100+ friggin' executive orders a day? Like, something is going on, something serious. But hey, like you said, it is what it is. He is who he is. So we gonna switch moods. We gonna like the mood unless you guys wanna got something else you wanna say real quick.
I ain't got nothing else.
All right. So if it's cool with you, we gonna go into some other stuff. I want to know what you both think about this video here. After I take this comment down, I want to know what you guys think about this particular video.
Do you mind if you tell your girls to like cover up? Your husband's on his way over.
Why would I ever have my girls cover up? Because of your husband.
Well,
This is their home.
she has her belly button showing, and your daughter has her breast out.
I'm not going to have them change their clothes.
Well, my
And-
husband
and
mentioned to
matter
me
of
that
fact-
he feels uncomfortable when your girls are around.
Oh, thank you for letting me know that your husband is no longer safe around my girls, and neither are you. You can meet your husband outside.
Did you get the premise of that video or not? You look a little confused, Neci. What's up?
Play it again. Play it
I'll
again.
run it back one more time.
Do you mind if you tell your girls to like cover up? Your husband's on his way over.
Why would I ever have my girls cover up? Because of your husband.
Well,
This is their home.
she has her belly button showing, and your daughter has her breast out.
I'm not going to have them change their clothes.
Well, my
And-
husband
and
mentioned to
matter
me
of
that
fact-
he feels uncomfortable when your girls are around.
Oh, thank you for letting me know that your husband is no longer safe around my girls, and neither are you. You can meet your husband outside.
Thoughts on this?
Well, okay. She said uncomfortable. She said, I mean, the husband don't really feel. The husband feels uncomfortable when around her girls because she didn't say nothing about safe. Just uncomfortable a little bit. Now, I'm kind of like on the fence with it because like okay, for the most part, like that's their home.
Yeah.
She's free to. She's at home. She's comfortable. That's the only time she can actually really be free. Right? Now, on the other hand, now I'm thinking, are they allowed to dress that way around other people outside of the house? Because for the man to say he uncomfortable with them doing something like that, I mean, is it something that has happened before? Me personally, if my daughter is around, of course, like when she's in the house, when she's in the house, she'd have to dress a certain way. Like I mean, she just comfortable and as she should. But if there's people that's coming, I tell her like, okay, well, put on some clothes. We about to have like some guests and whatnot. That's just me. Some people are not like that. Now at the same time, I cannot understand why she want them to cover up because that's a man. That's a man. You don't want the man looking at them girls a certain way. I'm not saying it's right or I'm not justifying that he would do that, but there's some men out there that would see something like that and their mind just start going haywire. So, like I said, I kind of like on the fence with it. Yes, they home. They're free to, they should be free to do what they please, but at the same time, a man is coming to the house as a guest and whatnot. I don't know. I think discretion.
I have girls. I have daughters, and I'm on the fence. I'm with Darren. I can see both sides. You know what I'm saying? Like when you're home, you're supposed to be comfortable in your space. You want everybody to be comfortable though. But as a person who's hosting, I want for my guests to feel comfortable also. Right. However, I didn't even notice that girl belly button was showing until the lady said it. So I'm not even looking at that. And that doesn't look like home clothes to me even. That looked like stuff that they wear outside and when they go to the mall or wherever they're going. So if that makes you uncomfortable, then man, because in this day and age where lingerie is out clothes, that wasn't nothing really to me. Like compared to like I could understand if they're walking around in bra and panties or t-shirt and panties, but that's fully clothed. So I don't know what she's talking about, but I could understand if they were half naked, but that wasn't half naked. So I don't know where they.
It wasn't.
Neci.
So I agree, especially as a mom and I have daughters. Like I agree. They weren't to me. I went it's that's just a plate again because I was like, not I didn't see a belly button until the
Exactly.
second video. And I was like, oh, but I still didn't see no boobs. I didn't see her boobs being outside either under her jacket,
That's what I'm saying.
or anything like that. I do agree about people should be able to be free at home, but people do have guests over and you should be dressed up appropriately when you have guests, especially children, because they're children, right? But they weren't dressed inappropriately. So her husband being uncomfortable is I don't know why he's uncomfortable. Based on how they dress, I don't see what would make him uncomfortable. But I ain't going to place I'm uncomfortable either. So I would have been like, I'm gonna pick you up, but I
Exactly.
really don't want to go inside because the girls are there, whatever. I'm gonna stay outside and wait for you until you're done. Like I think that was more the respectable thing for them to do as a couple than she asking her to have the girls change when they don't even look at it dressed inappropriately. I didn't see anything wrong with how they were dressed.
My mother always taught me to be good host and be presentable. Darren
The
says
girls were presentable, yeah.
they were. I think there's a comment that one of them didn't have a bra and the headlights were on. They were wearing jackets. How do you see?
How do you see
Like,
through that?
you're weird, bro. Like, if you could see through a jacket, you're weird, Superman, because you got X-ray vision.
That's a lot.
Yeah, you see
And
through
they
things
were
like
wearing
that.
long jeans. It wasn't even like cut up like sharp body shots or any. It was
If first, that's another thing too, that if you could say that, right, with what they're wearing, right, and your husband could feel uncomfortable with them wearing clothes like that, you covering up something about that man,
You
because
need to check. Yeah.
you gotta check your dude, because there's ain't no telling what he doing when you're not around. There's no telling.
You might need to check like through his stuff. Go into his, his
Yeah,
drawers and his, you know what I'm saying? If he got a man cave, go through there. Because that for
some stuff that don't belong.
headlights were on. What? How do
Yeah,
you see through a jacket?
that don't make sense.
I have 4 daughters and 3 are teens. They dress similar. If he uncomfortable, then he is literally watching these girls. Because them girls will go to school in a lot less than that these days.
A
So I don't
lot.
know
They don't
what.
want outside in a lot less.
All right. Bottom line, I think both approach the situation wrong. I can't say that they both were wrong, because
no.
if you try and dictate how my children dress in my house, don't come. You know what I'm saying? Like, but like I said, I see both sides, but that was a bit much. Like a lot
She,
worse.
she don't have to tell nobody how to dress in their house. Like, you're not gonna
Facts.
tell me how to dress in their house.
Now I got 2 quick
If you don't
fire
like
ones.
I don't agree with that. Tell people. I think sometimes people are just not like perceptive to be. If you're having guests over and I'm there, and as a mom or as a female, if I see that not how these girls were dressed, but if I see your daughter walking into the kitchen and her booty she's showing, and we have like all adults in the living room, and you don't even realize that they're dressed, I'd be like, I would pull you aside and be like, hey, I know it's your kids, but they came out in a pants that was a little revealing. And everyone kind of turned and looked at them. I want to make sure the girls are comfortable, and that they don't feel like they're being stared at. But you know what she was wearing, I would say something. Now, if I'm not welcome back, that's me. But I'm not gonna watch somebody in an adult setting dressed inappropriately and don't be like, this child is dressed inappropriately in this setting.
If it was some boy
If
shorts,
it's somebody I know, yeah, like some body shots, or she come out in a white tank top and you could then you could see all her headlights out because she's not like, that's a different conversation. But these girls were not doing any of that.
I got 2 quick fire ones from some locals that I found on Facebook. This is why I don't support locals. Y'all just have us running y'all down to buy or support the business. Like, YTF, you have a business if you don't have time for your own business or to deal with people. Make it make sense. And this is facts sometimes, because I have had to run down people to get them my money, and that is a turnoff. That is a big turnoff. We gotta do better. We gotta do better.
That's crazy.
What do you think about that, Free?
If I gotta run you down to give you my money, you don't want the business for real.
Can be.
I just feel like you don't want the business. If I gotta run you down to give you money, I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna just keep it.
Yeah, I'm not the money. I don't work for. Mm-mm.
Two of the worst in the black community, the worst small businesses in the black communities are barbers and people that sell weed. You gotta run them man down too much.
Man, please don't remind man, especially the weed man. When he decide he want to be a good person, like why you waiting till now? Why you doing that now? No, stay where you at,
Listen,
bro.
I
I need
messaged
that.
my barber 3 days ago. He ain't text me back yet. But okay.
If no,
Tell him
wait,
to get an app the way he could, where people could just go and schedule appointments and he ain't got to talk to nobody.
He'd have
right.
blame his PTSD. We've been in the military, he'd have blame his PTSD for everything.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie, that's a quick cop out.
He'd have use it. Let me tell you, he'd have used that.
But I mean, if now to the barber defense, if that barber is a good barber, like a lot of times, now my barber, right? Where my barber used to use, especially, I used to set appointments, and I would see sometimes that the barber would still get run down.
Mm-hmm.
You know, even with them using the app to set appointments, because she was just that good.
Yeah.
Good.
No, here's the thing. Like for men, right? When it comes to barbers, we take it seriously because we don't want to take the chance of trying somebody else and they mess us up. So I think that they know that also. So you may not even be the best in the city for real, but you're the one I know and I good with it. I'm good. The price is set. I know, like I'm good. So when like we don't overstay, you know. A lot of times we don't overstay with the barber too, and they'll take advantage of us. So I need to do better. First of all, barbers and weed man is no reason I should be chasing you down to cop something. You know what I'm saying? Like you never home, and then like you're doing me a favor for me to give you money. Like stop that. Stop that. Bring
Yeah.
it. Or I'll come to you. And then hey, I'll be there in 15 minutes. 6 hours later. But anyway, so the last one is this, because this post is upsetting a lot of people for some reason, and I don't know why.
You know what you're talking about. Yep.
My name is blank, and I unplan things that I plan with friends or people for man. With exclamation for man. If we plan something and my man says he wants to do something the same day or time, yes, I am. I'm planning my original plans. So don't invite me no place if you can't understand that. Thank you. Some people saying she a good friend or this, that, and the third. What do y'all think about this?
I'll let Nisi go first on this one. I mean, let me stay silent. I gonna comment after.
Jai, but you know when it comes to my friends that we are a different level. Not that.
Go ahead.
My friends unplanned for with a man who didn't pre-plan with me, man, I back up for me.
Man, you said a
It
lot.
depends. So let me just say that I won't do that consistently with what she just said. It depends on what we're doing. If it's just like he just want to hang out, but I have real plans out with my friends, I go in. But I don't use the word friend loosely. So
Okay.
she might not have people she really consider her friends. That's why she do stuff like that. So that's a very different situation. I have friends, like valid, true to the core friends. So when we plan, we gone.
So
I
is she?
sometimes bring your spouse.
So she's a
My
bad
thing
friend.
I don't want to say that because I don't know who she's planning things with. But if she prioritizing her man over whoever she's hanging with,
But
Everybody.
it's my thing, right?
but she's letting you know up front too. So if you want invite her, that's on you. But she's letting you know.
Yeah.
If he said boo, she jump. Casper. Okay, so
Well, that means, I mean, if you could do that with your friends, are they really your friends?
If you
Are they
Not
can,
really your... Because okay, I know for me, right? I have a girl. I with my girl all the time, right? Especially if I've been around her all day, we don't be doing things all the time. I have plans with my boys, right? I go with my boys. She call me, she text me saying she want me come home. Da, 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 da. Sorry, not sorry, my girl. I've been around you all day. I've been doing what I had to do with you all day. I can just cool with my boy. Me personally, I don't like having to be up underneath somebody all day.
Facts.
I don't want to be, because I'm gonna get sick of you. I'm gonna get tired of you. So let me get a little breather. Let me miss you for a little bit. You know what I mean? Let me because if I
Absolutely.
don't miss you, I'm gonna get vexed at you. Like you're my face.
True.
You know what I mean? You're my face.
Darren says I don't think that's healthy.
No.
And I agree to an extent. Like every time.
No.
So that mean it don't matter who it is, where you going, what going, and he knows this. So some people don't overdo. You check what he's saying? Like
Abuse it, yep.
and me, I'm with free on that day. I don't want to be up under my woman all day, every day, every night, and then when I leave, I don't like that. So I can't say that I would do that. Every so often, it depends on what's going on or whatever. But another thing, I don't be up on the man neither. So them dudes that wake up at 7, 8 o'clock and be up under the shanty line me with man, I'm not one of them either.
Man,
So I don't know.
Because what she really saying is if her sister getting married and she's the maid of honor and her man don't want to go to wedding, stay home and watch a movie. She not going, she's staying home? Is that what she really telling me?
Watch Netflix.
Like you don't go to your sister's wedding to stand next to your sister to be her maid of honor because he wants them to watch a movie because he feel like going? Is that what you really trying to explain to me?
And the same movie gonna be there and available later. No, you doing
exactly. She
and
probably
like
thinks I gotta get all the time with my man now because he might be my man today and not my man tomorrow.
he might end up in jail or in the grass. Listen, if you got a man that's doing things that aren't legal, maybe you might need to get all the time you can before he go to grass. Like I understand that.
But you're looking at it from that perspective. He gonna be here today, gone tomorrow. So I gotta get every chance I can. I don't know. I just speaking on a correction. You know what I'm saying?
It might be that. So I'll allow you. If you get a man that always in the streets and he doing okay. That's another thing though. You gotta flip it. What if he's never with her? You get what I'm saying? What if he's always out, always in the street, and so when he hit her up, she's available.
It sounds like he can't leave the house. That's what it sounds like.
That's a problem.
Look,
that's why he can't come out no place with you. Like you always got cancel to stay with. He can't leave. He on house arrest or something. He can't leave. He can't. Because you're trying to say your man don't ever go hang out with you with your friends and their spouses or whatever. Like never. Like he just cancel with everybody all the time because he want.
So Darren says sometimes I feel from the man's side if he demands her to unplanned, then it's toxic. You're adding something. You kind of adding things because that ain't what she said, but I gonna slide with it. You're shaky. You don't reach sometimes.
Her man.
They love saying that. Love. And so you know what?
Say what? Say what you gotta say.
Listen, I just know a lot of them girls that be saying my man, they ain't even their man. That's just the partner that realign her spine. That's just it. He's the one that's it.
We ain't touch on that though. That might be one of the reasons why she always gone, cause she know that thing good. She got go like
somebody else date.
Yeah, when you addicted.
Here today, gone tomorrow. That's what I'm saying. Here today, gone tomorrow. Maybe here today, gone later on today too.
In the chat, have you ever? Oh, you see. Oh, I missed that part. I missed the eggplant. It ain't gonna be all the time, but yeah, my man come first with an eggplant emoji. You check.
With the most
so they don't make time for it. But yo, we're over time. We're gonna work on the issue with the radio because we had to come off of there because it was so bad. So we're gonna look into it this week and make sure we get that fixed. There is no episode this Sunday because, as most people know, it's what is it called again? Super Bowl Sunday.
Super Bowl Sunday.
We ain't trying to compete with them. So
who you
y'all enjoy it. I going for the Wings. That's what he showed up.
Go Birds.
I rooted for them Wings.
Hey, if they could beat the refs too, I salute them.
I know the ref them cheating. You see, I glad somebody found out that made them ref cheating for the Chiefs.
You don't start you.
I know.
As long as they could beat the refs too, They're good.
They got
They
battle ahead of them beating and referee.
Yeah. Yeah. Because listen, them refs they're gonna make sure that light skin boy get that. They're gonna make sure that.
Hey, but I think people are getting tired of seeing the Chiefs in the bowl anyway. So it really don't
No,
even
I
matter.
think people are tired of seeing them winning the way they win. That's the
Think so?
problem. What?
No,
It's-
I think it's because because they're winning consecutively. I think that's the issue. It's not that they're winning. If they win this year, they'll be the first team in history to ever do a three-peat ever. That would be great for the look, but I don't knock them off. Like,
and that's gonna be the second time Hurts go against Mahomes. So
yeah.
I hope he come through with the victory this time because I do not want them Chiefs to win. I don't. I want them to lose.
Did I see that video of partner asking his wife what's his favorite cheat meal?
I didn't. I need to see that.
And she was like, fried chicken.
I need to see that video. I need to
I
see
just
that
said
video.
it to you. She was like fried chicken. He was like, nope. Chicken with gravy. He was like, nope. It's Mexican. So, yo, like I said it to you. But that was hilarious. But yeah, Miss Mahomes, mainly because Miss Mahomes is very annoying. That's what we talking about. I gotta send y'all the video. I gotta play that next time. Hey, whoever you rooting for, may your team win. I don't care. May the food be good. Because that's what we're doing. I made a halftime show be proper.
Yeah.
This has been another episode of A Different Day with Jah and
It's Neci.
Big up, Big Free for coming through.
One time for the one time.
All right. Thank you very much. We appreciate you coming through and taking the time out your schedule, big man. Check us Sunday after next. Enjoy the Super Bowl. We out. Peace.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.